Good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of Real Talk here at the studios of Hope TV Ghana. My name is Evie, the host for the show, and I am very, very excited to be here. I am privileged to be welcomed into your homes today too, to have a very interesting conversation, one that I believe every young person should listen to when they have the opportunity to do so. Because this is something that I personally went through. I'm sure every Christian young adult has faced this one point in their lives or will go through it at a point in their lives as they grow in their journey or their faith of Christianity and their relationship with God. You know, the Bible says in Proverbs 22 verse 6 that train up a child the way he should go, and that when they grow up they will not depart from it. And this is something that you hear when you're growing up. Your mother or father will tell you, I'm doing the best that I can. I'm training you up in ways that when you leave my care, you can still continue being the good child. You can still continue having a relationship with God. You can still continue building your Christian faith. But sometimes, as the saying goes, it's easier said than done. You hear these things and you think, oh, I can manage, until the reality sets in, until you face the day-to-day practicality of moving through the world, navigating, your friends and society and school, campus life, and still trying to hold on to the faith that you have, especially during these times where being a Christian is uncool. Being a Christian is looked as you just, at some point you're even is an occult, being a Christian is seen as you following old model or olden days, mindset. Now, if you are supposed to be woke, then you're not supposed to be a Christian, especially with the Gen Zs and some parts of millennials and Gen Alphas. You go to campus and you see different ways of living. Ways that are different from what you know, ways that are different from what you experience in church, ways that are different from, what your parents brought you up to experience or to know. And we have a story on the table today on this very important topic. A young person has sent in their struggles, hoping that we'll be able to help them to come up with some solution to this very, very difficult situation they find themselves in. One thing I am particularly happy about is that they found the right place to bring their problem. Because one of the things too is to go and have the conversation with the wrong group of people or the wrong person who will just put you in a direction that will just lead you astray. So I am glad that this person has done this, and so I'm going to encourage anybody out there going through anything, regardless of the topic. You can send us your story here at Hope TV Real Talk, and we are going to find you the right people to have the right conversation. And today, that is exactly what we have done. We have in the studio the right people to have the right conversation. And when I say right people, not necessarily people that are versed in the topic, but people that are willing to have the real conversation. People that are not going to be hypocritical about it. People that are going to tell you exactly how it is, their challenges, if they have gone through any, and how they got out of it. I'd like to remind you that we are live on Facebook and YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. So please do well to leave your thoughts, your comments, your suggestions under the comment section as we proceed with the discussion. So I'm going to go straight ahead and introduce my panelists to you. They are no strangers to the studio. They've been on the show Real Talk before, and today is another great opportunity for them to do it again. So sitting right next to me is Pastor Mark Hado. Pastor, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
It's good to have you in the studio.
Yes.
It's good to have you. How's your week been?
Busy, but special.
But special.
Yeah.
When the holidays are coming, everybody is trying to, close out whatever things they have to do at work.
And the office requirement and all that.
So
it's been busy, but it's cool.
It's cool. It's cool. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And then I have Hilda Enchiwa Ofori, no stranger to the studio as well. She's been here before. Hilda is a technical product manager. Hilda, how are you doing today?
Fine, thank you, and you?
I'm good. It's good to have you in the studio.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah. How has your week been?
Well, my week has been good.
Yeah,
it has been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Preparing.
A lot of things are going how I want, so
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Preparing for the holidays?
Yeah, I am. Even though I won't get to enjoy it too much, but
why not?
We work.
I was telling somebody that's for this year. I'm going to have a good holiday.
I mean, there are times for that,
yeah,
right?
It
will come.
There's sometimes that you tell yourself, regardless, I'm going to have.
So it's like
holiday.
you work, but the holidays there.
Yes.
Yeah, so
and then you are intentional about it. You take out time to enjoy with family, friends, before the New Year starts again with all its,
the stress.
I know, right?
Yours good.
Our own is good. First, you can't relate.
Your own is good.
Okay, so we're going to go straight into the story and then we can start our conversation. This story is titled "The Pressure to Be Perfect: What Church Kids Don't Say Out Loud." It says, "Dear Real Talk, my name is Sade. I am 21 and I have grown up in church. Every Sunday since I was a child, I knew the songs, the prayers, and the Bible verses by heart. Everyone called me a good Christian child, but inside I am struggling. When I went to university, I realized that most of my friends didn't share my faith. They questioned everything I believed about God, church, and morality. At first, I argued, prayed, and tried to defend my beliefs, but over time, I felt isolated. I started skipping chapel sessions, stopped volunteering, and even questioned whether God really hears my prayers. I feel guilty because I know my parents would be heartbroken if they knew. I keep asking myself, am I losing faith or am I just growing? Recently, I confided in a close friend who doesn't believe in God, and she said, maybe you've been scared to think for yourself because of church rules. Her words shook me. I don't want to leave God, but I feel like I am the only one struggling in silence. I am writing to Real Talk because I need guidance. How do I stay true to God while navigating doubts? Can I have faith and question at the same time? And how do I talk to my parents without breaking their hearts? So yeah, this is the story we have on the table. But I'm going to ask, Pastor, what is your general take on this story? Is this something you've heard before? Is this something before you became a pastor? Is this something you've experienced before? What's your general take?
To me, it is normal. It is normal because, one, we are human, who are made as reasonable beings. And so we are not computers that we are formatted into a way. So you have the chance and the ability to reason. So as you reason as a human being, there are so many things that comes to you. And so it is not new. Two, we are human and therefore not perfect. And so it is true, it is welcoming for you to have doubts. And so I see the whole story as something real, possible, and normal.
Okay, Hilda. General take?
Well, for me, my general take on this story, I mean, when I read it, I was like, oh, this is actually something I've experienced before. I mean, being a female and then being in that position. So it really hits home. I can actually relate to it, and it's actually something that happens. And if you don't take care, it just goes sideways. So it's good. The topic has come. I mean, it's good. Sade has shared the story with us, and then we're going to dive into it. I also try share my experiences to the best, so that we can talk about it. But this is real. It really happens.
Yeah. I agree. I think that like I started off by saying that we have experienced it one way or the other, especially when you leave the comfort of home. For most of us, the first time we have what is supposed independence is when we leave home to the university. Senior high school, you have grown-ups there. They still guide you, but university is the first time you live as an adult. When you don't go for lectures, nobody questions you. When you don't eat, nobody asks you any question. When you don't sleep, nobody says anything to you. You are an adult and you're experiencing life as such. And for people that usually come out from very sheltered homes, there's a bit of a struggle because you want to do all the things that you couldn't do at home. You want to try all the things.
Like, where should I start from?
You like the possibilities are endless. And then usually in the middle of that, if hopefully the Holy Spirit will whisper and you catch yourself, and then you ask, is this what I want to do? So it's good that he's brought this topic. But the thing about questioning God, I have been at a point in my life where I questioned God and I questioned church. And it led to a change of faith for me personally. And I remember those times when I was questioning some of the things that were not making sense to me. I was told, you cannot question God. Immediately you start doing that, that's the devil, trying to get in there and confuse you. God's way are his ways. Don't question it. Just follow as it has been put out there. But my question is it really God's way? Like, yes, you're saying these things. You're telling me that this is how it's supposed to do. I am wanting it and I am desiring it, but I'm not understanding it and it's not happening for me the way I expect it to happen. And I have questions. And your response to me is not to question. So anytime we question God, Pastor, is it part of growing spiritually, or that is where we have to pause and say, you do not question God, his ways are his ways, and you'll never understand?
For me, questioning God to me is part of a Christian growing.
Okay.
One, there's a foundation. We've been nurtured from our homes, especially from our African homes, to obey, more of obey than to know the reason to obey.
Right.
And so we don't make our children and our youth to understand why I go to church, why I observe this, why there's these do's and don'ts. So because we don't make our children, our youth to understand and they just obey, anytime they have the freedom, now they begin to question why. And so the genesis of our problem is our upbringing.
Okay.
Where we have a home where children are allowed to ask questions, and parents, teachers, Sunday school teachers, Sabbath school teachers, youth coordinators do have time to explain and make the children to understand. When they grow, it is easier to make decisions. But when you are kept to always obey, at a point in time, because you are a human being, reasonable being, you ask questions. And so for me, it shouldn't come with guilt. It is normal. And even when you go to the Bible, there are biblical figures who ask questions. Okay. Thomas, Gideon, even Paul at a point in time. And so to me, it is normal.
So what do you think about questioning God? Do you think is growing spiritually?
Well, like Pastor said, I'm actually going to agree with him. Questioning God is part of your spiritual journey. So that will help you grow spiritually. And I'm going to quote from Steps to Christ, page 105. Ellen White says, God never asks us to believe without sufficient evidence upon which to base our faith. And so God is not just forcing us to follow him,
right,
or to just believe him without asking. He has to give us the evidence, because we're, like Pastor said, we're human beings. So it needs to make sense. And so if it doesn't make sense, you have to question God. And then I also think it's based on the context, right? So you don't just go, like maybe there's a tragedy that's happened there, oh God, why? No, not that kind of questioning. But the questioning where, God, this has happened, but I need you to direct my path. I need you to do, what do I do next? That is you growing, because we are Christians. The trials, tribulations, we are going to face it. And so, as Ellen White said, he won't ask us to believe without giving us evidence. So if we feel we are not getting that evidence, we need to ask.
I feel like the one thing that God gave us that sometimes I wonder why he gave us that is free will. Because I see how it's great, but it's also like the thing that will just lead you astray, because it's now choices. And I can understand when you say that, when you both say that questioning God is part of the Christian journey, because if he didn't want us to do that, he wouldn't have given us free will. Yes, we would have just been created to do this.
Like robots.
Yes, and follow him. But then even though he wants us to worship him, to serve him, he wants us to do it from a place of love, and that is from free will. But then talking about doubts and how we handle doubts and feeling guilty, this guy is clearly going through something, and you can see it is eating at him, and you can also see that it is eating at him because of the upbringing he got. He is questioning it because a part of him knows how living right looks like. And now he can see how his lifestyle is different from what he has been trained to live to. And now he's asking, and he's feeling guilty because he knows if he tells his parents this, he says it, they'll be heartbroken. So he's living a life, but he's not even happy in that life, because he goes to bed, I'm sure he's thinking, I didn't go to church today, I didn't pray today, like I can't even sleep well because I know that I should pray and seek God's guidance throughout the day. But how can he handle his doubts without the guilt? How can he be doubting and then still, you know, move on and say, okay, I'm having these feelings, I'm having these thoughts, God, I'm probably not living the life that you want me to live. I am confused, like help me out. Because usually when we feel guilty, I've realized that what we do is we don't confront the issue. It's like when you put it at the back of your mind, then it's gone. It's not gone, it's there. So how do we handle it well?
Let me cite Jesus Christ on his way for crucifixion. The last time he and the disciples went into waiting, praying, he had a conversation with the Father. The weight of the burden was on him. And he said, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. It is a process. It is a reasoning process, weighing, taking stock of what is about to happen. And to me, it will be, I can term it to be the questioning part.
Okay.
Where asking God, the Father, should I go about? Can I do this? Is it not too much for me? Can you let it pass? But the process of asking the questions should be polite, humble, and still with faith.
Okay.
Christ said, with asking all that and even asking for the cup to pass, he ended by saying, not my will, let your will be done.
Yeah.
And so for me, as the youth comes into a time in his life, her life, to probe what his religion is talking about, what his upbringing is talking about, is part of life. But the end is the question to ponder very well. If after asking all these questions, you end up drifting from the Lord, then it didn't end well.
Yeah.
But after asking, to me, this probing time should get you closer to God. Should get you closer to God. Because after asking all this and you ask that, God, let your will be done, let me know what to do. Teach me, it gets you closer, and the Lord will help you. It is better than asking, oh, then there's no God. Let me go my way and do whatever that I want to. So the asking time, the probing time is normal, but the end should be considered very well.
Right. Hilda, I don't know, is throughout your Christian journey, where you had questions and you had doubts and you wondered, is this the right faith for me and all of that, how do you think you managed it to get you to this position where you have like resolute faith to say that there is God and this is how I am going to serve him, and the faith that you chose to go with?
Okay, so I think mine is it's like a fusion of both, right? So my upbringing was very Christian. I mean, I was taught to learn the Bible, do this, work with God and all of that. And then, you know, as young people, these things are inevitable. Like, they always come our way. Temptations, doubts, they are part of the things that it just comes our way. So I believe when we are taught to deal with that, right? Because my dad will tell you, when you have a problem, just read a psalm. Find a particular psalm that talks about your problem, read it. Okay. In Thanksgiving, read this psalm. In this, read this, read it. So you know, you are taught, and then you understand that when I'm facing this problem, this is how I go to God. So you don't just go to God. So I believe if the youth are really taught, like Pastor was saying, how to deal with these things, then it's going to help them navigate the doubt, because doubt is inevitable. It will come your way.
Come your way, one way or the other. And I completely agree, because when I was having my doubts, I was with a different denomination, and doctrines were different and faiths were different. And I had questions. I had questions on the speaking of tongues. I had like basic doctrinal questions, and I was asking, because I was a very active, I've always been active in church activity growing up. Like everything, all the confidence I have for like speaking was from church. Yeah. They'll give you memory verse to go, my name is my, and then all those things. I was singing, I was doing choreography. I was a very active girl in church. And growing up, you love to do, the things, and the desire, they said, if you desire to speak tongues, it should come and you should be able to. And I was desiring it. I was young, and and I was asking, and the thing was not coming. So I was asking that I'm trying.
Is it for everyone?
Yeah, is it for everyone? And they will line us up, and then they will ask us to speak. And then if we attend, Pastor, I'm not kidding, 9 will speak and I'll be the only one standing there. And it looked like there was something wrong with me. You know?
God is not in touch with you.
Yeah. So that was my test. So what am I doing that is making me not get this gift from God? So I was very down and I was questioning it. And one time I went to ask, I'm going to put my business out there, but I went to ask one of the pastors, and then he said, one of the reasons, the main reason you not be able to speak in tongues has to do with sexual sin. And at that moment I said, I'm as pure as you can imagine it to be. I'm not, and you see, what made me so convinced was that if I had been living in that life, I would have questioned, but I knew for a fact that I was not living that life. So I was like, doesn't align, because I know people that are speaking that are living the life that you're talking about, and I know for a fact that I wasn't. So what was happening? And that led to the whole trying to look for the truth and figuring it out. So in that moment, I had doubts. My question then is, when you have doubt, the people you go to and the direction, because this is what it would have led to. Okay, you said this about me and it's not true. Then there's no God, because if there was, and I am living this life that you claim if I do, then it's a lie, because I should see it manifest in my life. And I would have gone down that rabbit hole and I've become atheist and I don't believe it. I'm moving around telling you, hey,
believe in God.
Yeah, all the energy that I'll put in church, I'll go and put it in something else. All the talents that God had given me, I'll go and put it in something else. How important is the person you talk to when you are facing this challenge? How important is it to finding the right solution to the problem? Because he went to his friend who said, church rules,
Yeah.
And that made sense. Why don't you think you are questioning because you are now thinking for yourself? Don't you think you've been confined? As a thinking young adult, you'll be like, maybe it's true.
Yeah.
So how important is it to find the right community to have the right conversation?
Seeking community is very paramount in your moments of doubt.
Yeah.
Because first, when it is over you, it is beyond you, you speak to someone. And so if you speak to the wrong person, you'll be led astray. And so getting the right people is very much important. But another thing is that whatever they will direct you to, you need to probe further, see God for yourself.
Right.
I had an encounter. She was bounced with her visa to travel, and it broke her. After speaking to her in all ways, she started doubting and throwing, should I say, tantrums and all that. But I asked that, please, take time, read these Bible texts, and pray. After 2 weeks, she came and said, I have found God for myself. He was preparing me for something better. I am not meant to travel. God has something special beyond traveling for me. And truly, after 1 year, that prophecy came into being. Very joyous that even she did not travel. And so speaking to the right people is very paramount.
Yeah.
And the question is, how do I know that I am with the right people?
Right.
You need discernment from the Lord.
Okay.
You need discernment from the Lord to help you. But whatever men will say, whatever the direction they will do, you need to probe further, have time with God, and pray much. He will come true and show himself and clear the doubt in a way.
Before I come to Hilda, his community at church, when at school, that is his church community, when they realized he wasn't, do you think they could have done more when they realized he wasn't coming for Bible studies and sessions? You know, there are some people that are regulars. You come to Wednesday, they are there, you see them, and then for like a period of time, you don't see them. Do you think as a church community, or even as a group that prays together, a young group that do Bible studies, when you don't see each other for some time, do you think we can do more to just keep bringing, because the devil is fighting us?
True.
Yeah. So
we are in a great controversy.
Right.
So it's either he or she is won by the Lord or the other side.
Right.
And the Lord is using us as vessels in doing this business, in winning this war. And so if you are a youth leader, a student leader, a fellowship leader, or a friend, and you spot that a friend, a brother, sister is going through this doubting process, you need to visit more.
Yeah.
You need to invite more. You need to show more concern and love, because we say God is love, but it is displayed through human actions. And so in such a situation, getting more closer, inviting, holding tight the community will help the person to revive and discover God the better.
Yeah. So Hilda, the same question to you about the community, and if you experience that as well, and your opinion on we as a church community bringing each other close, because even regular friendship, when you don't see your friend for a while, you reach out and you ask, Hilda, I haven't seen you, come on, let's go eat some cake, so that we catch up. Yeah.
So I think with getting a community to share your problems with is very crucial in your journey as a youth through life, and then in your Christian journey as well. So when it comes to selecting a community, I would take it from the point of you asking God first.
Okay.
Because that's what I do.
Okay.
In moments of doubt, and I feel like I don't have anyone to speak to, like I don't feel safe saying this to anyone, I pray to God.
Right.
And I tell God that, God, this is what is happening to me. I need you to place me in the right positions, put me with the right people to take this burden off my shoulder, or to take whatever, or to help me make this decision. And so when I do that, for me, because of my relationship with God, I see the signs. And you see it. If you seek God, you find him.
Yeah.
Yes. So when you pray to him, you ask him to give you signs. It will just happen. Something will happen. You would meet someone, and then I also have people I share. My dad is one of them. Right. I talk to my dad because he has guided me on, like I said, scriptures, prayers. So I talk to him a lot. When I have a problem, I pray to God, I talk to my dad. So my dad is my first point of contact. So I feel like as a youth, you should have someone you're looking up to, but not entirely. Like Pastor said, you have to see God for yourself.
Yeah.
So even though you have a mentor, you have someone, like I look up to my dad, I look up to a lot of people as well. You also have to see God for yourself. So in as much as this person is explaining it to you to the best of their understanding, or even giving you possibilities. Oh, maybe this is what it means that, oh, God is trying to do in your life. You need to pray to God that, God, this is what has come to me from these people I've spoken to. Yeah. So which is which?
Yeah. He said we should test the spirit and we'll know.
Yes. So you need to ask God, but in asking God, the people you have around you, you should have people with the right people. The right people. And when you pray to God, he will direct you to the right people.
I believe so. I believe so. I think, like he clearly said, we should ask, we'll find, we should seek, we should ask, you answer, we should seek, we'll find, we should knock, the door be open. So in moments like this, when you're praying, like you said, Pastor, you mentioned the word discernment, because sometimes you think you've gotten an answer,
the right person,
and the answer is not.
It's not.
Yes. And sometimes if you pay attention, you will see that it is not, because the things the person is saying and what the Bible is saying is always contradicting. So you ask yourself, and that will only happen when you are also doing the personal work.
So imagine if you are not doing it.
Yes,
then
it means they'll be feeding you with anything they want to feed you with, and you'll be running because you don't know the truth yourself. We'll have to go for a quick break. When we come back, we will talk about parents and their role, because clearly this young person was even scared to talk about his parents, to talk to his parents about the struggles that he is facing with his Christian journey. He said they'll be heartbroken. But as parents, what can we do to make it easy for our children to always come back to us, regardless of the decisions they have taken? We'll be right back. Do not go anywhere. This is Real Talk. Welcome back from that quick break. We are still in the studios of Hope TV Ghana, coming your way with Real Talk. My name is Evie, and I have been doing this with Pastor Mark Hado and Hilda Enchiwa Ofori. We've been having a very interesting conversation, one that I think will be very great if any young person listens and picks some of the advice that will be coming through. A young person in university struggling with their Christian journey. They went to school and they are now fighting to hold on to their faith, believe in God. Unfortunately, they are surrounded with people that do not believe in his faith or even God. And I have realized that this is becoming very common. Pastor, I know, growing up, hardly would you hear somebody boldly tell you, I don't believe in God. Yeah. Like, people don't even have that confidence. But now,
it is easy.
Pastor, I can count the number of people I've met, young people I have met, who tell me with no...
I know people I used to go to church with who are now saying...
Right. Who tell you with no feelings, nothing, that, I don't believe in God. There's no God. And you're looking at them and you're asking... Well, the first thing I ask is, why? Like, I want to know your reason for why you don't believe in God. And majority of the time, it has to do with church hurts. Mm-hmm. It has to do with they not getting anybody to take them through what the Bible says. It has to do with the fights of the lack of love shown in the Christian community. Mm-hmm. If you say you're Christian, the disappointment.
With regards to the people they look up to,
yes.
Even with parents,
exactly,
pastors, other church leaders, so they feel disappointed. If these people are doing this, then
I know somebody that told me that if God is the God of my parents, then I don't want to believe in him.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because they could see that you people say you believe in God, and this is how you, so you can see, and it's so painful, and you can tell that they are struggling, but they would choose this path because the other path hurt them so bad that they don't even want to consider it. So talking about parents, there's this thing that young people always say. You hear when back in this was even senior high school. When you do something and they say they'll debordenize you or they'll sack you from boarding house. And then I was a prefect, so we'll have like a disciplinary committee, and then we'll try and figure out why you did it. People that have been jumping over walls when they're supposed to be on campus, and then they'll bring it to the so prefect will be there and we'll be talking about it. And I always ask, why did you do it? And you can see that it's the flimsiest excuse. And they felt caged. I'm like, you're in boarding house. You could have been a day student. What do you mean by you felt caged? And you always see that at the end of the day, the when they are saying I am sorry, it always has to do with I cannot tell my parents this. I can't go back home. Like, I am dead. Yeah. They will deal with me. And you can see that in our part of the world, we struggle to go to our parents with things that are going on. We struggle to talk to our parents about the heartbreaks we have, all these nothing love stories that we go through. We struggle to tell parents about our failures when we are not doing well in school. We can't catch up because they'll tell you, do you know how much I paid for the school fees? You struggle to tell them that you're fighting with your faith, How can parents be a safe space for their children? Because I always say that regardless of the decision a child takes, how horrible it is, they should still come to you and know that maybe you pull their ear, but you do that in love. How can parents do that? How can we nurture that relationship with our children, that they are not afraid, but they'll rather come and share their struggles?
Every father, every mother, or a guardian becomes the first mentor to a child.
Yeah.
They are the first heroes and heroines for many youths, many children. But the failure has been with regards to failing to maintain the friendship. We are too straight, we are too commanding, we are too instructive. Do this, don't do that. but we don't create and maintain the friendship. And so you see that the moment they go to senior high school and they get someone older who opens up, that person becomes their God. It can be any other person, negative or positive, because daddy is so commanding, but he is not approachable.
Yeah.
Mommy is so commanding, she's not approachable, very judgmental. And so I get to meet people, youth especially, bringing so many stuff to me. And when you approach the parents, they have no idea. They have no idea about what is going on because there is no friendship.
Yeah.
And so if you really want to keep up with the mentoring responsibility as a parent, you need to be open. And it starts right from the when that boy or girl is a toddler.
Yeah.
How do you welcome? At times I ask parents, this month, how many times have you hugged your child? And it might sound very trivial.
Yeah.
But hugging your child will be an opening point for him or her to know that, hey, mommy likes me, daddy likes me, so I can go to. So there are so many things we are losing as parents, and we are losing our words, our children, because there's no creation and maintaining of friendship. And so that is why when they are in doubt, they are going through a troublous time, they are not feeling easy to come to us because we are not their friend.
Yeah, because you're not their friend. You know that thing where you hear a parent say, I am not your friend, I am your parent. And you are left wondering, hey, so if you are not my friend, how do I share things with you? But Hilda, you mentioned something. You said your father is the first person you go to.
Yes, my dad.
Yeah, so that suggests a healthy relationship.
He has actually created the safe space for that. And I think part of it is also for me. Okay. Because I approach with honesty.
Because maybe he made it okay for you to approach with honesty. Yeah, that's the thing.
So I said the safe space has been created, and then now I approach with honesty. Right. So when I'm going to him to discuss things with him, I don't feel scared, or I feel like I can open up and tell him anything and everything at all. Because he sees it anyways. That's what he will tell you, that anything you do, I see it. And so because he has created that safe space and then said that,
he knows it anyway.
You know it anyway, so let me just come and tell you. Yeah. So I think as parents, you have to create that safe space for your child, so that they can approach you and then tell. My mom, similar. She will come to our room, sit on our bed, have conversations with us. You know, she'll ask us questions, like random questions, and then we'll laugh about it. We also share experiences with her. I feel like she doesn't just do that because she wants to know a secret we are hiding, but she just does that so that we feel okay to talk to her, to be in the same. Because there are some people that, I remember I once told my friend that every morning we have devotion in my house. Every evening we have devotion in my house. Whether you are sick or you are not sick, you come to the living room and we have the devotion. Yeah. And then she was like, wow, I really wish my father would, because my father, as soon as he drives home,
everybody's running.
We hear that he has arrived. Scatter. I was like,
oh, gas come.
So
headmaster.
Parents need to create that safe space for their children so that they can be able to, because it's better your children come to you than they go to any other person.
Because nobody can love your children as much as you love them.
Right. So if you love your children and you claim to love them, you should be able to create that safe space for them to share whatever they are going through with you.
I mean, I feel like as I grow, I am able to give grace to my parents, because I realized that they were just like me at a point in their life. Yeah. And all my mistakes that I have made that I think I deserve to be given grace because I didn't know better, they have done it. Like the first time they trained their child was their first time ever. And so imagine doing something for the first time. All the mistakes and all the trial and error, and especially if you come from a family that they don't put you through the orientation. Everybody is trying it for the first time. So I have come to the point where I'm able to give grace, but I am also aware of the damage it can cause regardless of the grace, because the trauma will seep through. And you will see that, yes, I didn't know better and I did the best that I could, but it doesn't change the consequences of the actions that you took. So it makes me more aware, and it makes me more than ever willing to be ready to learn and unlearn certain things. And it also makes me more than ever willing to take my time to do certain things. Like, for instance, talking about parenting and things, the way we have made it look like after marriage, children, all of that it is not, because I've realized that you can damage a child to the point where they can lose their salvation because of your training. And didn't the Bible say, woe betides you? Like, if you see the magnitude of what the Bible says with leading his flock astray, you will be steady with giving out advices. You will calm down with projecting your thoughts and feelings. You'll be quick to let people find Christ for themselves than you telling them this is how it is done or this is how it is not done. So I think that even before you become a parent, if you have the desire to be a parent, you should be ready to learn certain things and unlearn certain things, and be ready to put your feelings aside. Be selfless for the child. Because when your child comes to you and tells you that is what I have done, your first reaction will have to be, why would you do that? It takes a lot of work for you to put yourself back. It's okay. Let me listen to what this child is saying. Let me not go with, you know. And like Pastor, you clearly said, you say something about people's children and they are looking at you like, my child? Like, people do not, we don't know. There's time I was telling somebody that you'll be surprised your parents do not know who you are now. They probably know the 6-year-old, the 5-year-old, the 8-year-old, the 10. But you, the young woman that you are now, you'll be surprised they don't know you. And sometimes they will say something that you would want or do, and you're looking at them like, me? That's not me. Like, I remember before my wedding, during my wedding, before my wedding, my father and I got closer. And at a point, right after the wedding, he said something. He said that he had no idea I was such a crybaby. Like, everything, I'll cry. When I'm happy, I'll cry. When I'm sad, I'll cry. I just cry. And then he was telling my mother, and I said at the back of my mind, I've been a crying, like, I've been crying for the most random things. And that's what made me realize that he's still getting to know me. Because as I change, he doesn't know that version. And so he's still getting to know me. So creating that space where a child can go to, I saw this interview that the woman said, regardless of the decision she makes, whether it's good or bad, even the baddest decision, maybe she snuck out and went somewhere, and then maybe she said she went to a party and they were doing drugs, and she realized that, oh my God, I've made a mistake, I shouldn't have been here. And she was wondering how to go back home because she didn't have a car. And she remembered her mother told her that wherever you find yourself, call me, I will come, and I'll make sure my first reaction will not be
judging.
Yes. And she called her mother, and her mother came. The first thing she said, are you okay? She said, yes. Did you do anything? She said, no. She didn't say anything. Then she took her home. She went to sleep. Then after they had the conversation, I'm sure the woman did it after because she had come there. If she had done it there in the car, she would have just...
It didn't even come to mind to call her. If she always projects judgment. Anytime there's an issue of such. But because she's giving that space, that assurance, that is why even in the midst of temptation, she was okay to call
because if she's afraid, she's okay, let me stay here and wait till morning. And you don't know what will happen.
It would have been worse.
Yes.
One thing we need to do as parents is that we need to be intentional, very intentional with regards to who we are mentoring our children. And know that we are good in giving instructions, do that, don't do that. But we are not conscious of the fact that our words, our children, they copy, they mimic, they emulate what we do more than what we say. And so the reason why for many of our youth at a point in time, the doubt becomes so much, even to the extent of denying God, is that parents are very good. They are pastors, they are elders, women's ministry, children ministry. They do all that. They give instruction. But the children do not see them practicalizing Christianity. And so the doubting issue begins at home. When they see that you are very good Sunday, worshiping, Saturday, doing all that, but at home, the way you speak to his dad, the way you shout at daddy, the way daddy shouts at mommy, even beating, the way daddy is irresponsible, not caring. And so the doubts, hey, so these people are Christians.
Yeah.
People I'm following. And this is what they do at home. And so if you are not intentional and cautious about what you do, even more than what you say, you'll be nurturing youngsters who will come to say that there is no God. Why? Yeah. Because daddy and mommy shows me that there's no God.
Because what they say God is not what they are
doing. Yeah.
Whew. Another part of this conversation that is deep that I'm sure will take our time, but we'll try and cover is peer pressure. Because you can see that he's surrounded by people that do not, do not believe his faith. But that is school for you. You meet all sorts of people.
Yes.
You meet good, you meet bad, you meet ugly, you meet beautiful. All sorts of people. Yeah. They will be in your rooms, they will be in your classes. You can't choose and pick. You can only choose the people that you decide to have a friendship with. But if your roommate doesn't believe in God,
have to manage.
Like even if you are praying, then they'll start playing some song that will remove you from
the spirit.
Your spirit. This one, the temptation is right at your bed, looking at you. Yeah. You see, so peer pressure. How can you manage peer pressure, especially with faith? Because he went to speak to his friend who said, "I think you are now thinking for yourself. It's church rules." And then that got stuck. I'm sure you go to another person that said, in this day and age, you're still doing God. Come on and let's go and do some party, we drink up, you know. So the people you keep around you, and even in situations where you cannot choose because school is school, how can you navigate peer pressure?
For me, you still have to be more prayerful about it, because even with regards to choosing, the discernment you need God's grace to guide you. 2, you need to be, you see, at school, we become researchers. We learn. And unlike some of us, now it is better we have the exposure, we have the ways and means to learn more. And so you need to seek.
Yeah.
When you take the Bible, do you know that the Bible is for Gen Zs? It's for the Alphas and all that.
Really?
I can give you an example. When you consider the story of Daniel, is Daniel in the University of Ghana at Kwame Nkrumah University, away from home. And then Daniel is faced with the temptation of appetite, going, drinking, eating and all that. Then Daniel chose that I will not go with my friends who will be doing the eating, but I remember I had some youth guys who I came from the village with. So let me go to them and then seek and talk with them. You have just related Daniel chapter 1 and 2 with regards to a Gen Z environment. So you can actually relate yourself to everything. You can get an example from the Bible. And so where you are skeptical about choosing or going to the right people and all that, I think your little fundamental belief in the Bible and making time to read or ask God, give me the right quotation, the right example, or inspire me, help me to overcome, that one will also help you to navigate this period of doubting and unbelief.
Yeah. I mean, I can agree when you say the Bible is relatable on, like, to every generation, because sometimes certain stories that make sense to me or I can relate to now, that's like 1,000 years ago. I can see, every topic is in the Bible. Every topic that you can think of is in the Bible. The things that you think, I can't, you will find it.
Yeah.
It is such a great book, isn't it? Feel that peer pressure.
So with peer pressure, I mean, Corinthians says bad company corrupts good character. So it's the people that you find yourself with, the people that you mingle with, the people that you perform your day-to-day activities with. So you have to choose the right people. Like I said, I'll go back to the point I was making earlier. In choosing the right people, you need God. Because without God, you can't choose the right people.
Yes.
You need to let God direct you to the people that... Because... See, you could even be mingling with someone you share the same faith with, the same beliefs, you are in the same church.
Doesn't mean you are equally yoked.
The kind of advice they would give you, I've experienced it firsthand.
Oh yeah.
So I know people within the church, even to the point where I'm like, are you people really, you know? So then I just went back. You pray to God. God, I need you to put me, and it doesn't have to be. God will just bring you someone who would make sure that you are on the right path. So pray about it. Pray to God. When you meet someone for the first time, you have an encounter with the person, you guys feel like maybe you want to be friends, whatever it is, whatever relationship you want to have with someone else, you need to pray to God about it.
Let me share an experience.
Okay.
I went to school in my hostel, in my room. We were friends. I've never seen what is porn before. And one day I woke up on my bed and this is what they are telecasting, showcasing. Hey. And everybody is comfortable. I look, what is that? And immediately I went out. They laughed at me.
Aww.
Yeah,
they laughed at me.
Yeah.
These are the people I am sleeping with, waking up with, eating with, in the same room. The porn is not shown outside, inside where I sleep.
Yeah.
How will you? But I think even in that temptation, the Lord gave me one of them who afterwards, with several times said, Adi Amuye, do you think it is good? I said, no, Mark, it is not. Let's try and see. And so he came out of the lot to be with me. Wow. And then we decided that anytime they want to showcase that, we will talk about it. If they don't listen, we will go.
You get out of
At a point in time, those who were into that left one after the other. We had our freedom. Yeah. And our friendship bonded. Even as today, we are still good friends.
Wow.
And the Lord just gave him and he was not even with my same denomination.
Oh, okay.
And not the same denomination.
Okay.
He became the best. He went to another university to further his education, and still today we are good brothers. Yeah.
And Pastor, when you even say that when things happen like that, like the way you walked out, you know, I want you to speak to the youth on it being okay to leave a situation that they don't have enough confidence to fight. Yeah. Because it would be very foolish of you to think that, oh, I'm a Christian, so when you are doing this thing, I'll sit in there and defend or fight. Oh. You'll be surprised when they will.
You'll be the one leading the delegation.
Exactly. So sometimes be careful of your need to prove that your own is good. Yeah. Because 10, 15 people coming on you, by the time you realize they have 10, talking about the good company and the bad company, they can just turn you away and you even know when it happened. So please speak to the youth on it is okay to leave, to run.
To walk away.
It is okay to walk away. Let them call you all the names they can call you. You are not confident, you are a sissy. It is okay to walk when you find yourself in situations that will not benefit you.
My dear friends, get this straight. Whatever you watch, eat, wear, consciously or subconsciously makes you who you are. And so let's say that you are in a company of friends who do porn and say, as for me, I don't like it. It will not influence me. But you are always there with them watching. By the time you realize you have formed a life accepting, befriending porn, and you might even step into it. And so it is okay for you to be seen weird. It is okay for you to be the odd. It is okay for you to be laughed at. And so when you find a situation where you need to run for your life, run. Let them call you the names. Let them laugh at you. You are doing that for your own good, your own salvation, and for your own health. And so don't be afraid to be the odd one. Don't be afraid to be the weird one. If that will make sense and if that will protect your salvation, please do. Yeah. You might lose them, but the Lord will give you someone or a group that will accept you, that will cherish you, that will help you to grow as a Christian. So don't be afraid to run for your life.
It's okay. And being unique is not common, so you shouldn't want to even be like everybody else.
I always say that if you tell me I'm odd, I'll tell you that's what makes me Hilda.
Yes, because nobody can.
Because if I'm like you,
there's no
then
difference.
There's like two of you.
Yeah.
Like if I'm me and you are you, so you call me odd. Yeah, I'll tell you that's what makes me Hilda.
Yeah.
That's what differentiates me from you. That's
and usually the people that make the difference are usually considered odd.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at all these people that they called, oh, this person is a nerd. Now see the tech world,
right?
They are making money and employing you. That was a cool guy or cool girl back in school.
Yeah.
But before we go, Hilda, let me start with you. What should this guy do from here after listening to us and everything? What are some of the practical steps he should take to help him out of this situation?
Okay, so I'll use my experience. For me, with the situation I went through, I wasn't really involved in a lot of activities in the church I fellowship in.
Okay.
And the Adventist church as a whole, I didn't care about it, right? I'll just do my own thing. And even when I'm appointed to do stuff, I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. So for me, I took a decision. I prayed to God and I said, I want to be closer to you. I want to get to know you. I want to experience you for myself, not what baptismal class taught me or Sabbath school taught me or children ministries taught me. I want to experience you for myself.
Right.
And so I did that and I involved myself in church activity. I just told myself, if someone says, do this, I'll do it. I'm going to be there. If I can't make it, that is fine. But I'm not going to make excuses. You see, there's a difference. You being able to not make, or you not being able to make it is different from you giving excuses. I was giving excuses.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no excuses. If I can make it, I'll be there. If I can't. So when you do that, it brings you closer to God. You experience God for yourself. And like I said, he'll give you the signs.
Yeah.
He'll show you, he'll give you the evidence.
Yeah.
Like someone said, evidence day. Yes, he'll give you the evidence. So just go to God, pray to him, and then ask him to let his will be done in your life. So that's what I'll tell Sadi to do.
Okay. Pastor.
I want to add by saying focus on the evidence. The evidence she's talking about. Focus on the evidence. What is these evidences? One, from yourself. Take stock of your life. How the grace of God has brought you. Your childbirth, your upbringing. There are incidences that it takes a miraculous hand to deliver you. So there are enough evidences from your own life. Two, scan through the people around you.
Yes.
You will get evidences of God's hand, his provision in their life. Three, scan the Bible. You get evidences there too. And so your own, the people around you, there are evidences. The Bible, there are evidences. It will bring you to a point that, oh, whatever it is that I'm going through, taking stock of my life, I am grateful. And I believe that if God has brought me this far, he's still alive. He can take me out there. So focus on the evidences. God is alive.
Yeah. And I'd also like to add that you are not the first or the last person to go through this.
Exactly.
Almost everybody that has taken their Christian journey seriously has gone through this or will go through this at a point in this journey. And so know that you are not alone. There are thousands, millions of people going through the same thing as you are, and that there's hope and that you can come out of it. And I would also, like Hilda was trying to say, find what brought me when I was having all those struggles. Like I said, I was and I'm still a church girl, and I did a lot of things in church, and I do a lot of things in church. The thing that even brought me to finding this faith was my love for singing. So in my quest for searching and looking for the truth and finding answers, I had a great desire to sing. So I came to school. My hostel was just here. I came to school, and one day I was passing by the G.I.J. Road, and then I heard a choir singing, and I stood, I said, what? These people can sing? Who are they? And then I just passed by, and then I laughed, and then I went. But every time I was passing, I could hear, I'm like, who are these people? Who are these people? And I also knew someone that was part of the group. So one day I said, let me come and see what you people are doing here. And then I came and then I saw and they were I said, oh, I'll join you for your singing group. I wasn't a member, nothing. They were doing family praise at the time. I said, I'll join. I'll come in, sit in, and then I'll learn the song. So one of the days, the person leading just decided to put me on the spot to sing the song. And I said, hey, you guys sing? I said, yes, that's the reason why I came, because I hear you guys. And that is even what led me to the teachings and the understanding. So sometimes it's not even the traditional way of Bible study. Sometimes it's just God knows what he's doing. He knows how to find all of his children and what he will use to find them. So it can be something as simple as singing. It can be your love for talking. He will put you in that position where you end up in that space without your mind even thinking of. In that moment, I wasn't even thinking. So when I found myself there and I was interested, you guys sing a lot. What is it about? What's your faith? And then they'll give you, actually, they'll give you books. So they won't come and sit there and tell you that this is what it is. They'll give you materials to do your own research. And that's what I liked about it. So I was reading and I'll make notes and I'll come and ask, but why is this like this? And finally, I was getting answers to questions I have had for over 5 years. And I said, you know what, let me sit down and do my own thing and then look into it. So don't wait to be spoon-fed. Look for the seek
for it yourself.
Or you'll be fed, excuse me, say rubbish, which will lead you to, you lose your salvation. And that would be too painful. So Sade, I am glad that you brought your topic here, your story here, and I am happy that we've had the right people to discuss. Pastor and Hilda, Pastor, I want to say something before we go.
I think, let me give this practical example. When I was finishing school, I was awarded with a very big book, Concordance. I have to search to know topics, areas, and biblical quotations. When I was ordained, I was given a similar book. Now, I don't remember the last time I even opened it. Now, the phone.
Yes.
Shade, my brothers, sisters, my friends, just pick up your phone. Just search, ask questions, biblical questions. The Lord, through your text, will give you so many things. Write the quotations down, go and read. Now we have the exposure. We have easy way of getting to know so much things. I know that there are chaffs there that will come to your phone, that will come to your DM. But still, in your probing, the Lord will give you right answers. So seeking the evidences, talking to the right people, the right community, but still read for yourself. And you will discover God and you will go through your doubting moments in life. God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Hilda. I think you guys have done a great job. And I like the fact that you said he should use his phone, because now with these children, it's the phone. Which book? You put it somewhere.
They can even leverage AI.
Exactly.
GPT,
to get
Claude,
answers and
to get
things.
all the answers.
And the thing, if you know anything about AI, if you know anything about the internet or technology, the things you search for, the algorithm will just set it up for you. When you go on Instagram or whatever and you look at stupid things, you realize every day your feed is full of stupid things. But immediately you start searching, you find the right information. So just search and I'm sure you'll be fine. So thank you guys so much. It's been a wonderful discussion. I am sure people have learned out there. I have learned. I always said I always learn something new on this show. And I'm sure you have learned out there as well. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back same time next week with another exciting episode. But until then, continue to enjoy the rest of the content on Hope TV Ghana. My name is Evie and I did this with Pastor Makhado and Hilda Inchua Ofori. We'll be back same time next week with another exciting episode. Have yourselves a lovely evening.